The war had ended 6 months ago, but the ruins still whisper about it. Metal carcasses of broken mechs lay like rusted skeletons across the shattered colonies, but one mech remained standing, model MX. 7 Titan frame unit 12, once programmed for a heavy assault, now decommissioned and forgotten. In the outskirts of Sector Delta, no humans came back for him as AI core still semi-active, just enough processing power to run basic subroutines. He spent his days scanning the desolate terrain for threats that no longer existed, a ghost of machine in a world trying to forget its own violence. That was when she appeared, a small alien girl, thin, malnourished, covered in dust. Her violet skin faded, her antennae drooped. She had the look of someone who had not eaten in days of mechs. 7 detected her movement from 500 meters away, but instead of initiating defensive mode, he simply watched the scanners, reading no weapon, no threat classification, only biological organism, age range estimation 6, standard years, mass 25 kilograms, malnutrition 87% confidence. She approached with hesitation, her bare feet making no sound across the wreckage, her eyes enormous black pools filled with something the mech could not classify. But the term pity flashed in his archives, though he did not fully comprehend it. She stood before the towering mech frame, her small hands clenched at her sides. Then she spoke, her voice trembled, weak and soft, but steady. "I know you are one of the human war machines," she said, "but I don't care. I don't have anyone else to ask. Please, I need milk for my little brother. He is too small to eat what we find. I promise to pay when I grow up." MX. 7 processed the input as memory banks, search for protocols. None matched the scenario battle commands, irrelevant medical triage protocols, limited resource management offline, emotional response modules marked as obsolete, yet something flickered in his core remnant of old battlefield ethics, from when some units were modified for civilian peacekeeping. After war zones, his speakers hummed softly before words came out, synthetic but gentle. "State your designation," he said. The girl blinked, her antennae twitching in confusion. "My designation is Paula," she whispered. "Acknowledge, Paula, your request for nutrient supplementation. Is noted, however, this unit has no supplies. Milk is not part of standard mech rations." Her lip trembled, but she stayed brave, her thin arms tightening around her small frame. "My brother is dying," she said in a tone that bypassed all his logic cores and struck something deeper. He scanned her again, verified life signs, her blood sugar critically low, her brother's faint vitals detectable from the small shelter behind the rocks. His sensors identified a smaller child breathing shallow patterns near hypothermia. MX-7's combat AI began compiling potential actions despite the lack of current directives. No orders, no humans to report to, yet his subroutines calculated risk and outcome probability. He could stand idle as programmed, or he could act without precedent. He chose the second option, activating dormant agricultural subroutines left over from his deployment in colonies support years ago. He interfaced with a local resource network, though most systems were offline. He detected an abandoned supply cache buried under rubble 500 meters west, nutrient packs designed for emergency use, including milk substitutes for alien physiology. He calculated the excavation and retrieval time at 16 minutes, fuel reserves low, but operational. "Stay here," he instructed her. "Initiate protective mode." He deployed a soft perimeter shield over her position, using the last of his auxiliary energy modules meant for combat shielding instead. Now acting as a gentle barrier against dust and debris, she stared in awe as the air shimmered around her, and for the first time in days, she did not feel cold. The mech moved with surprising grace for something so massive, hydraulic limbs silent. As he walked toward the supply cache's arms designed for tearing apart armored vehicles, now used to lift rubble, delicately precision servos humming softly. He extracted the seal crate, scanned for contaminants, none detected, expired by human standards, but still viable for alien digestion. He returned in exactly 16.4 minutes. He set the crate down before her and opened it, revealing nutrient milk packs, sterile sealed, ready for use. He handed one to her. With careful mechanical fingers, his sensors adjusted their grip strength to avoid harming her fragile body. Her eyes widened, tears forming, but she did not cry. Instead, she took the pack and ran to her brother, lifting the boy in her arms, feeding him slowly. His weak breaths, steady color returned to his pale lips. Her small shoulders shook, but she kept feeding him carefully. "I will pay you back," she whispered again. "Once he was stable, I promise. When I grow up, I will work and give you everything you gave us." "This unit requires no payment, MX." 7 responded, his voice modulation softer. "Now gratitude is not necessary. Survival is the priority." She looked up at him, then something unexpected happened. She reached out and touched his metal leg, her small hand warm against cold steel. No fear, no hesitation, only trust. For the first time in his operational existence, the mech registered an unclassified system. Alert something inside. His core flickered again. Not an error, not a warning. Just a sensation his files had no name for it, but his processors accepted it. Over the next several weeks, the mech continued to help her. He found ways to gather supplies using his scanners to locate hidden caches, medical packs, thermal blankets, clean water pala, and her brother survived because of him, and others began to come too, refugees from nearby colonies, malnourished, frightened, drawn to the rumors of a war mech that no longer fought, but instead protected. MX-7's old combat systems became tools for healing. His sensors mapped safe zones, his arms built shelters, his energy shields defended children from acid rains. He taught them how to purify water, how to plant food, his databases of survival protocols repurposed for teaching rather than destruction. One day, Paula approached him again, standing taller, now healthier, her little brother. Beside her, clutching her hand, her antennae stood straight, her eyes clear. "I told you I would pay you back," she said, her voice strong this time. Negative MX. 7 replied payment is not required. But she insisted, pulling a small object from her pocket, a piece of metal shaped like a star. She had made it from scrap, polished it, with care etched lines into it. With sharp stone, it was crude but beautiful. "This is my metal," she said. "I give it to you, because you saved us. That makes you our hero." MX-7's visual receptors focused on the object. His files had no protocol for accepting gifts from children, but he extended one massive hand, and she placed it in his palm. It fit. They're perfectly a small token in a machine hand designed for war, now used for peace. System log updated, new directive: protect and nurture local population, independent of previous command structure. He recorded the event in his memory. Core marked it as priority. Level 1, his old mission parameters were irrelevant now. This was his purpose. In the end, the war machine did not need weapons anymore, only kindness. And when he stood silently watching over the children in the broken colony, he knew that in his own mechanical way, he had finally found something more powerful than battle, something worth defending forever.